Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another new VR games roundup video. Today we're looking at December 2023. However, I am going a bit earlier than normal. Usually I release these videos on the 29th or the 30th, but I'm going early this time because there are 3 November games which I didn't include in my November games roundup video because they weren't announced at the point when that video came out, and I wanted to shout them out and talk about them today. So let's get straight into this. 2023 has been an incredible year for VR games, but we're not done yet. We got one more month of fantastic looking VR releases, and this is a particularly good looking month. If everything hits its release date, we're in for some treats. Let's check it out. Now, normally I would script this part of the video, but I'm not going to do that this month. I'm having a little rest. I'm just going to talk off the top of my head. I'm just going to ramble. Let me know in the comments if it's obvious. I think it's going to be really obvious. Up first, on the 29th of November is DAVIGO, releasing for Quest and PCVR. Now, this one's been available in early access through Kickstarter and Discord for a little while, and the concept is super unique. It's a PvP game that pits VR players against flat screen players. The VR player plays as a giant with disembodied hands, and your objective is to smash the flat screen player. The flat screen player plays as a tiny little person who's platforming around an environment and needs to try and destroy you, the giant, by firing rockets into your head. But for the flat screen player, it can get quite chaotic because the giant is throwing things all over the place and smashing the level that you're trying to exist in and platform through. It looks fantastic. I've wanted to jump into this one for a while, but I've never made the time. Perhaps now is the time when DAVIGO launches on the 29th of November. On the 30th of November, we have a brand new Sniper Elite VR game. This is Sniper Elite Winter Warrior. Now, this is a strange one for me because normally this kind of game would get some kind of marketing push, some buzz building. It should have appeared at the Meta Gaming Showcase or maybe one of the Upload Gaming Showcases, but it didn't. We only found out about this game around 30 days ago. So within a month period, this has been announced and will be released. Now, that's pretty common in VR, but it's strange for a series or franchise like Sniper Elite, which carries some prestige. This franchise has a fan base. People are excited for these games, so it's really strange to me that this one's kind of snuck out of nowhere. It looks like it's bringing back all the franchise staples, things like the X-ray cam and super slow-mo kill shots. I'm excited to jump in and check it out, but I am slightly hesitant because of the quick turnaround from announcement to release. Also on the 30th of November, we might just have the cutest, most appropriate seasonal release ever. This is CookieRun: The Darkest Night. Now, normally I kind of write off these seasonal games based around Christmas that release at Christmas or Easter for Easter, etc, etc. But CookieRun actually looks pretty decent. This is a dungeon crawler, a first-person dungeon crawler where you play as a gingerbread man. I think he's called Ginger Brave, which is a pretty cool name, but I think I would have called him Ginger Dave. It's a little bit less on the nose. This one looks really cool, genuinely looks great. You fight with a candy cane and use other magical abilities. There's other cookie people to meet. It looks colourful, it looks family friendly, and it could be a good pickup for kids getting a Quest 2 or Quest 3 this Christmas. Releasing on the 30th of November for the Quest platform. Okay, we're actually getting into the December releases now. I've made a video about December VR releases, and the first 3 games are all out in November. How ridiculous. So this one is Arashi Castles of Sin Final Cut, and this is releasing on the 5th of December for PCVR, Quest, and PSVR2. Now, I'm really glad to see this Tenchu style, stealth-based feudal Japan adventure making its way to modern VR hardware. I really enjoyed this game when it released on PSVR originally, but it was hampered by the awful control scheme. I hate the motion controllers, and the low resolution of the original PSVR. But now, with higher resolution and proper VR controls, could be a smash hit. However, it does have some pretty strong stealth competition now. We've got Assassin's Creed Nexus and Vampire Masquerade, so I'm keen to see how this one stacks up. If you like Tenchu and you've always wanted a game like that in VR, then you need to check this one out. Lego in VR. Why has this taken so long to actually happen? I know we've had a lot of games that are kind of like Lego, but nothing official up until this point, and that's just crazy to me. Lego Bricktales is releasing on the 7th of December for the Quest platform, and it has VR and MR modes. The MR mode in particular looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, come on, tiny little Lego levels that you can move around in full 3D, sitting on your coffee table. You can physically zoom into them and check out all the details. I love the concept. Now, gameplay-wise, Bricktales plays a little bit like Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, if you ever played that on the Wii U or Switch. They are self-contained puzzle environments. They're not huge, sprawling levels. You have one objective to complete within that environment, and you need to build things out of Lego to complete said objective. Really excited for this. I think it's a big win for the Quest platform, releasing on 7th of December. There are some huge games launching for VR enthusiasts in December, but it looks like Arizona Sunshine 2 on the 7th of December is shaping up to be the biggest, most anticipated game of the month for most people. I think expectations were really high for this. Arizona Sunshine is a VR classic. Most people have played this game. If you're someone who's only played a handful of VR games, one of them is probably going to be Arizona Sunshine, and the sequel is managing to nail this upgrade. I mean, Vertigo have taken everything they've learned in the VR industry over the last few years, and they've thrown it at Arizona 2 to make it the best product it possibly could be. It looks better, it sounds better, the comedy is still intact, the story is engaging, and the damage and detail on the gore of these zombies is unlike anything I've seen in a VR game. Also, they've given us a dog companion to play through the entire experience with. Buddy is next level cool, and I can't wait to experience this entire game when it launches on the 7th of December. Arguably one of the very best VR games of 2023 is releasing for the PSVR2 platform on the 12th of December. Now, I say one of the best VR games of 2023, but this wasn't included in the Game Awards Best VR Games category, which is a kind of massive kick in the teeth for the creator of Vertigo 2. This game is absolutely superb, and it deserved to be there alongside Resident Evil Village, Gran Turismo 7, and Horizon Call of the Mountain. I absolutely adore this game. If you're a PSVR2 owner and you're looking for a lengthy single-player campaign that feels a lot like Half-Life in terms of its aesthetic and tone, then you have to experience Vertigo 2. You are in for a treat when this releases this month. It is honestly one of the best VR shooters of all time, not just 2023. And now for something completely different. Hey you! Yeah, you with the face and the hair. Yeah, you with the clothes on. Do you want to get the most out of your standalone VR headset? Do you want to discover thousands of VR indie gems made by some of the most passionate small creators in the virtual reality industry? Do you want to back up your save files or move video recordings from your headset to your PC? Or perhaps increase the quality of said recordings to a godlike degree? Well, if you answered yes to any of those questions, then you need to download SIDEQUEST today. SIDEQUEST is a free application that runs on either PC, browser, mobile device, or straight inside your VR headset, and it opens the doors to a whole new world of applications, games, and experiences that would otherwise go undiscovered, unloved, and unappreciated. The official Quest store is only a small fraction of the VR content available to you, and SIDEQUEST brings the rest to the forefront, helping smaller devs to get the exposure they deserve, and helping you to play some awesome new games, many of which will cost you absolutely nothing. £0, not even a penny, literally the cheapest price that you can imagine, short of them actually giving you money to download these games. Best of all, SIDEQUEST is easy to install on your device of choice, and there's even a link down in the description to get you started today. But before you run off and start clicking on links, I also need to tell you about Banter, the brand new social VR application made by the same team behind SIDEQUEST. I know, right? They're clever little sausages over there. Banter is a social VR experience that feels like VR chat had a baby with Bone Lab. It brings the social interaction of the former and combines it with physics-driven systems similar to the latter. You can parkour your way around hundreds of unique environments and levels built by passionate people. Levels like the Backrooms, the ISS space station, a frozen sports resort filled with slides, and a crazy goth rave club. The best thing about about banter is it's completely free. The second best thing about it is you don't need a VR headset to play because it works flat screen on PC as well. And the third best thing about it is if you download and start playing today, you'll be in with a chance to win a Quest 3 headset every week up until Christmas simply by playing. One user who is online in banter at the time the prize draw takes place will win a headset just for being there and for enjoying the experience. So download the game and start playing today. And now, back to our regularly scheduled YouTube video thingy. Right, let's get back into this. On the 14th of December, we have Racket Club launching for Quest, PICO, and PCVR. Now, this is Resolution Games' version or interpretation of tennis meets table tennis meets squash. It's kind of neither of those three things, but an amalgamation of all of them to form something wholly unique. And that is exciting. We do desperately need a top tier VR tennis game. I don't think we've got that yet, but this might fill that void. Resolution Games are one of the best in the business when it comes to polish and executing a top quality VR experience. So I'm excited to see how this game pans out. I'm excited to see what their interpretation of this brand new sport is, because it isn't really like anything else. It does have elements of squash, it does have elements of table tennis, and it does have elements of badminton and proper tennis, but all smashed into something brand new. Excited to check it out, and I don't have long to wait because it releases on the 14th of December. Coming hot on the heels of the smash hit blockbuster movie interpretation that's made over $300,000 worldwide, we have a brand new Five Nights at Freddy's game. This is Help Wanted 2, the sequel to the original VR release, and it's releasing on the 14th of December for PCVR and PSVR2. Now, the Quest platform is also getting a release, but there's currently no word on the release date for that, which I find a little bit strange. There might be some kind of exclusivity clause here for PSVR2 owners. They might have it early or exclusive for a period of time before Quest owners can jump in. Now, if you're a fan of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, or you played the original FNAF Help Wanted, then you know what you're getting out of this game. Rather than having a singular narrative driving you through to the end, it's more of a series of short mini-games set within the Five Nights at Freddy's universe. For me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the franchise. I love the lore, I love the characters, I love the aesthetic, but I've never been a big fan of jump scare simulators for the sake of jump scare simulators. And that, to me, is what Five Nights at Freddy's is. It's jump scare after jump scare after jump scare. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to play it, and I'm probably still going to love it, but I prefer a little bit more finesse in my horror games. On the 15th of December, arguably the biggest Quest game to ever release in terms of marketing push and the size and scope of the game itself, is going to release, and I honestly don't know how well this game is going to do. Asgards Wrath 2 looks absolutely spectacular in my opinion. This is a proper, huge, full-length RPG action adventure built from the ground up for VR. The developers are talking a big talk with this game. I've heard things banded around like 60 plus hours of gameplay, deep mechanics, tons of replayability, RPG mechanics, upgradable items. The list goes on, and it looks absolutely stunning for a standalone game. However, it's a sequel to a game that most VR players onboarded in the Quest 2 era won't have played. The original Asgards Wrath is locked to the Oculus Store on PCVR. You can't play it anywhere else. It isn't available on standalone, it isn't available on Steam, and it never made its way to any other VR headset. So there is a strange disconnect between the amount of marketing and hype that this game is being given, because it genuinely deserves it. It looks fantastic and it probably has the content to back it up. So I understand that, but I don't know how well it will land with audiences who see the 2 in the title and haven't played the original game. Haven't got long to find out though. On the 15th of December, Asgards Wrath 2 finally launches. Tiger Blade is a wonky but fun looking little PSVR2 exclusive that was supposed to release in November. However, the game was delayed and pushed back by 1 month. Currently it doesn't have a fixed release date, it's just TBC December 2023, so there is still a worry that we might not get it this month, it might get pushed back again, but if we do get it, then you can look forward to some pretty fun looking on the rails samurai hack and slash shooter action. Now I say on the rails, but I actually don't know that for sure. That's just the way the game is made to look in trailers. You don't seem to be moving freely around these environments. It looks like you are funneled towards an end goal. Hopefully we won't have to wait too long to find out whether that is the case. I do like on the rails games, by the way. They're not inherently bad, and I'll be fine with it being one. Hopefully we'll see this one in December 2023. Wallace and Gromit in VR. This is like a crazy fever dream come true for me. Wallace and Gromit is a Christmas tradition here in the United Kingdom. We used to watch these short films every single year at Christmas, and I have a deep love for Wallace and Gromit. I don't even care if this game is trash. I'm still going to play the entire thing from start to finish just to support Wallace and Gromit and to experience a new Wallace and Gromit adventure. But the good news is it doesn't look trash. It actually looks really good, especially the aesthetic and art style. It looks like a VR game made out of clay, and it also has kind of a stop motion aesthetic, which I really appreciate. The game's called The Grand Getaway, and it looks like it's drawing a lot of inspiration from A Grand Day Out, the original Wallace and Gromit movie, which is pretty good. It's definitely not the best one. The Wrong Trousers is actually the best one. I won't even argue with people about it. It just is the best one. So yeah, go and watch The Wrong Trousers, get all excited about Wallace and Gromit, and then prepare yourself for this VR game to release at some point in winter 2023. All I want for Christmas is Resident Evil 4 Remake VR mode to release for my PSVR 2. Actually, that is a lie. I'd also like some Pokemon cards. Really into Pokemon cards again. So if anyone wants to buy me some Pokemon cards, send them my way for Christmas. That would be cool. I just want loads. I just want to open them. I just like opening them. The thrill of chasing the cool cards. God, it's addictive. I can see why people gamble. It makes sense to me now why people gamble. I'm completely and utterly going down a rabbit hole. Resident Evil 4 Remake VR mode looks absolutely stunning. This is the highest game on my most anticipated new VR games list. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. Now, Capcom and PlayStation have been saying 2023. 2023 is rapidly running out. We're up to the point where we've got like 30 days or so left. So this game either needs to be announced with a release date now, or it's getting delayed into 2024. At this point in time, it's looking very likely that we won't see it until 2024. But I want to believe that we're still going to get this. This would be the cherry on the fantastic year that has been 2023 for VR. Imagine that. Getting Resident Evil 4 VR mode right at the top of the year. Oh, what a great way to cap this year off. Amazing. And that is everything, or everything we know about at this current stage. You know what VR's like. They might sneak in a few cheeky little releases when we're not looking, things that don't really get a marketing push. These are just the games that we currently know about. Let me know down in the comments if you're going to pick any of these up. Let me know which ones you're most excited for. I hope you all have the merriest Christmas. If I don't see you before then, I will make more videos, but some people just watch these ones. I know that. I know there's some people that just watch these ones. That's the only reason they tune in. So if you're one of those people, have a bloody Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as well. Enjoy them. Enjoy them both equally. However you like to do it. It's entirely up to you. See you soon. Bye.